Hey, it's Ryan from UpfitSupply.com, and in this video, we're gonna be unboxing a Magnum headache rack for Ford F-150 trucks. Let's get into it. All right, Magnum headache racks, one of my favorite brands that we carry because it's just a unique design. They've kind of taken a unique approach to a very utilitarian product and made it into something that pretty cool, that even if you're just a truck person and not necessarily contractor, that you'd want to put on your truck. The thing about Magnum is they give this vibe like they're this small bespoke manufacturer, but they're actually owned by a pretty large company, the Shift Group. It's like our hardware is attached on a little box inside here, so I'm gonna pull this out quick. All right, in that box we had our wiring harness, bag of hardware, a couple of brackets right here. We do have some little packaging protectors in here, some foam spacers to keep this thing from rattling around. Now this is an aluminum product, and because of that, it's actually not too heavy, and so it can still ship via parcel carrier like FedEx, UPS, all that. Some of these headache racks, when they're steel, it's like you gotta go LTL, strapped to a pallet, which is expensive and time consuming, so great benefit of the Magnum headache rack. Now, this particular model is the Low Pro for the Ford F-150. It's got the window cut out here and just our horizontal bars right here on either side. You can see we have our built-in lights, which is kind of one of the cool things that Magnum does. Now they actually just replaced these lights. They used to have yellow and red lenses on them. Now they're clear lenses, and when they light up, they're still that red and amber color. Like I mentioned, this is a aluminum product, pretty lightweight, not gonna rust on you and all that. You can get it in a couple of different finishes. Obviously, black is gonna be the most popular. As I rotate this, take a look at our little harness over here. I do have a little note card zip tied up here I wanna take a look at. Oh, that came off. Just thanks for choosing Magnum. Scan for installation guide. So yeah, there's no installation guide in the box. QR code, look at that on the website. I know they have a lot of videos as well. Sometimes what gets confusing with the Magnum headache racks as opposed to standard rack is the fact that you have these lights, and so you do need to wire this into the truck essentially. But it's a plug and play harness that is going to tie into, a lot of times they're tying into like the harness that supplies your trailer hitch wiring and things like that. So it's pretty simple install, but it's just varies from vehicle to vehicle. We do have our connector right here, and then in this bag is going to be our specific wiring harness for the truck we ordered this for. This happens to be for a Ford F-150, 2021 model year. So weather tight connector here to tie in right there, it looks like. And then looks like this is gonna tie into, this almost looks like your 8-pin trailer wiring plug. So I'm assuming maybe you tie into that in the back. Not familiar with this installation yet. We're gonna be installing this on a Ford F-150 that we have here in the shop. So if you're interested in that video, be sure to check that one out. Looks like we do have another wire here that you may need to run to your battery, because have a fused connection here and plenty of length. Do have zip ties, the kind that you can screw into something, self-tapping screw or something like that. Looks like we do have some grease. Maybe this is for your connection points, keep out any moisture. That's everything in this bag. And then we do have just 4 bolts here. Looks like these are either stainless steel or galvanized. And then we do have some aluminum little brackets right here as well. These are labeled with a P for passenger and D for driver. So I believe these are gonna go into the stake pockets. Looks like this is probably a mounting location. So if this is on the driver's side, I'm assuming you've got a location where you can attach this to the side of the bed, and this is gonna be flush with your bed rail through that stake pocket. So that's gonna be nice because It essentially means when you're attaching this, it's not going to interfere with your tonneau covers that sit in between the rails. Now, if you have a tonneau cover that sits on top of the rails, obviously anything you put on top of the rails is going to conflict with that. So in this case, our tonneau cover sits between the rails, so this will work great for our application. Just a couple of other great things about Magnum headache racks is they're made in the USA. You can see we've got our nice flag right there. They're made in Maine, and they have a lifetime warranty, so you'll be protected for the long haul from any defects or anything like that you may find in your product. Let's just look over a couple more features that we have here on our Magnum headache rack. First of all, I think I did mention this is the low pro for the F-150, and I should have mentioned they have a couple of different styles. Number one is style in terms of low pro versus high pro, and what that means is low pro, the top of the headache rack is kind of flush with the top of the cab, and the high pro is more standard, like your typical headache rack that extends, you know, a few inches above the top of the cab, and there's reasons on why and why not to go each route. Low pro is a little more stealthy. Maybe you don't want that look of the headache rack kind of hanging over the top of the cab. That's why I went that way, because we've had some other headache racks in our truck that they stand up pretty high. This is just a little bit more concealed when you're looking at the front of the truck, but you know, not as great of protection against the top of the cab, if you will, especially if you're loading things on top of your headache rack and things like that. So that's high pro and low pro. Now they also have a couple of different styles in terms of what's inside of this frame here. So like I said, we have the bars here, and we do have our window cutout option. You can get this with just full bars. They also make a full mesh. They also have an American flag in here. They've got a couple of different options that you can get for kind of the interior of this frame, but the frame itself is going to be the same from style to style, if you will. Now, cool thing about this frame is it does have a built-in inset track. We do have some openings right here where you could put in, you know, a slider nut for mounting additional accessories, whether that be lights or ladder stops or whatever you may want to mount either on the sides or the top of this headache rack. So pretty cool feature that's built in. Another nice feature about this is it is a one-piece design, so you can see our feet are already welded on. And I showed you, it's just those two aluminum pieces for attaching it to the truck with 4 bolts. Installation is super simple compared to a lot of other options out there on the market. Some brands where you have to buy mounting feet and a frame separately, and then it's pre-assembly and all of that. And so this is a one-piece design, 4 bolts, and you're good to go. So super, super easy installation. Again, the hardest part is going to be with integrating these lights. And again, they make it with the harness that's going to tie into existing places on the vehicle, so you're not having to tap wires and splice and things like that. Now on the bottom of our feet here, I don't know if you can see this, do have some pre-applied padding. It's going to help prevent any scratches or dings on the actual bed rail itself. Now on the F-150, we do have plastic bed rail caps, if you will, so not a huge deal there. Have all of our pre-drilled holes on our mounting feet right there, so pretty good to go. This is a made in USA product. All of these are crafted, welded, painted, everything in Maine. So it's a true made in USA product. Now I did mention that Magnum, they have this feel like this small bespoke manufacturer. They are owned by this large company called the Shift Group, and the cool thing about that is they still have the creativity and a lot of the nimbleness of that small company. They have the resources of this pretty large organization behind them. And because of that, you know they're gonna be around for a long time to take care of you under that lifetime warranty. And what's amazing is just the level of craftsmanship into particularly the welding. Like, this is pretty amazing welding on aluminum. So this is not just amateur production and fabrication here. This is a well-crafted product. Now, if you're looking for this headache rack or any other equipment to get your truck or van ready for work, we've got what you need at upfitsupply.com. Again, my name is Ryan. Have a good one.